Hey guys, Huzzy here, bringing you another video. Now welcome to the second video of the day, and we're going to be doing a first impressions of Kayn. So the new champion that is actually coming out a little bit sooner than I thought a new champion would come out. And I think partially is that because the champion actually got leaked, if you didn't know. And the same day it got leaked, they actually officially announced it. So maybe they did it a little bit earlier than what they wanted. But yeah, if you know nothing about the guy, I doubt this is the first video you're watching on him, because every YouTuber's done a video by now, but I'm a little bit late to the game, as always. But I always give my first impressions on champions that I think I possibly could play. Like, if a new, AD carry comes out, I'm not really rushing to, try that out. But this guy is potentially a jungler, potentially a top laner, and also potentially a mid laner. It's a little bit weird of where he's going to go. So we're just going to do a first impressions. I'm in training room, obviously, because that will allow me just to kind of test things more. And just give a good first impressions of what I think this champion's going to be. So the first thing I'm going to be just doing is I'm going to be doing jungle clear. Because if this guy can jungle efficiently, then that's basically been debunked. That Q is ridiculous. So you just Q into an area and you spin around and do a massive cleave and Wraith Camp's dead. That has to be one of the quickest Wraith or Raptor Camp, whatever you want to call it, clears in the game by yourself. That was without any help. Our health is still pretty decent after doing that. And obviously I'm not really doing the whole running away and all that stuff to maintain my health. I'm just kind of face tanking it, and this is still pretty damn impressive. So yeah, really good so far clearing. With a bit of help, that'll be a very fast 2 camp clear. Potentially go for a level 2 gank. But his level 2 gank, I don't think is that strong, because he doesn't really have much to get to people, apart from the Q, which is pretty low range. But if you don't know anything about this champion, so right now we are in base form Kayn. Right, so this over here is the Darkin Scythe. So they're exploring more with the Darkins, and I think that's pretty cool. It's a different race in League of Legends that is actually these sentient weapons. They're alive, if you will, and they kind of take control of their owner. And part of Kayn's lore has hinted at these weapons, infest their owner, take over the mind, unless the owner is simply too strong for the weapon. And it's actually kind of funny, a little bit of a tangent from Kayn while we're just doing some clearing, is people think Jax, the champion Jax, had a Darkin weapon, but he was too strong for the weapon to infest, to consume. Hence why Jax says, imagine if I had a real weapon, because he doesn't have his weapon anymore. Maybe because the Darkin weapon was like, I can't control Jax, he's too strong. So that's just a kind of nice thought. It makes it kind of come around full circle if that does come true. But just to go over his other abilities. So your Q is that movement ability that you can use any time. Just has a little bit of movement if you need to dodge a spell. Your W is a massive, inline, just crazy damage that we'll talk about later, because also there are some bonus effects that does happen. And your E is, I think, is brilliant, is you can walk through walls. Now, what I did, and again, this is my second time doing... kind of playing this guy, is if say Kayn is a top laner, and I'm going to just show you guys this because I think it's actually insane. So you're a top laner and you're either going to get tower dived, you have a ward here and they're going to dive you and they come under tower, they take aggro. What do? Run to the left. They can't get to you. They physically cannot get to you. That's insane. Even just, by the way, this regens your health. So if you're under tower, you're like, oh my god, I'm getting owned. You just go to the left and they can't get to you and you're regenning your health back. That to me is insanely good. Insanely good. But just to kind of say, the bread and butter of this champion isn't really his base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to level up. Let's just get to level 6. And then also we should probably teleport to Jarvan. Hey, Jarvan. So his ultimate... you can ult onto somebody. Okay, damage them first, then ult, and then you go into them, and then you can choose a direction to leave that person. You go immune in this time, and it looks to be pretty damn strong. But this is just the basics to Kayn. This champion is way more in depth than what I've just simply shown, and I'm going to show why is that a thing. So but over here, near the portrait, if my my UI does unfortunately cover it a little bit, so I will get rid of my UI for now. So you can see this little circle that just filled up a little bit from hitting Jarvan. When you load into the Rift, you do not have any points when it comes to your evolutions. So what we're going to do is we're going to spawn an enemy dummy, and we're just going to start whacking the enemy dummy. Now you can see these orbs that are spawning around the dummy. these orbs indicate you're about to get points for hitting that. So if I stop, you'll see all these orbs head to Kayn when combat ends, boom, into the scythe, and then we get more in the evolution. So let's just kind of go nuts on this thing and just try to DPS it as much as we can for a little while. Let's just try and get to kind of like the juicy stuff, if you will. Which is basically where I think Kayn is going to become a monster, literally, kinda. So yeah, this guy, I do think this guy has a lot of potential. My only concern is, you know, is he going to be a little bit, in a way, too strong? And again, some people are like, I don't see it. Well, just wait a minute, and then you'll probably see. All right. God, this is actually taking a really long time. So maybe it actually takes longer, the lower time in the game it is, maybe. So what we'll do, we'll refresh that. We'll do some level ups, just so we're a little bit stronger. And let's just go nuts, shall we? Let's ult. Out we go. Let's ult again. So I do have auto cooldown on, so this is not like what the actual speed of a Kayn will be. Some people might get confused with that. If it did, that would be insane. That would be kind of fun, but yeah. I'm just trying to speed up how quick we get all these things. Okay, that might be enough. Let's see. Is that enough? That's a lot of orbs. Boom. There we go. We did it. All right, let's get rid of that stuff now. Right, so this is where it gets interesting. So whether you be a jungler, which I would say the one weakness of Kayn in the jungle from what I've experienced so far, first impressions, is that that's going to take a very long time to get this evolution. It only counts to attacking enemy champions right now. Doesn't count to epic monsters, only enemy champions. And even in a gank, you don't actually attack them that much. Is why I think he could be a top laner, because you're permanently going to be trading with somebody. So anyway, you get enough, and then you're allowed, if we actually go back to base, you're allowed to basically pick your evolution. Now, there are a couple of things that you can do. So right away, you can pick Darkin mode. You have to be on the platform, from my knowledge, to do this, by the way. So you can pick Darkin mode straight away, which, let's just go over Darkin mode just a little bit. And by the way, every single one of your abilities has a little bonus thing that if it has a bonus to one of these forms, it'll tell you. So if the Reaping Slash, if you go Darkin, it deals a percentage of the target's maximum health instead of just physical damage. But it also does some physical damage to monsters. So this would be very good versus tanks, or if you're actually getting behind and you're not getting many damage items, well then the target's maximum health might actually be more useful. Your W, if you go the Shadow Assassin form, which is this one, then you gain extra range and the ability to move during the proc. If you go Darkin, you'll gain a knock-up with the ability. Your E, only Shadow Assassin has a thing for this. Gain more movement speed and slow immunity. And then your ultimate both have a effect. Shadow Assassin gains extra range and refresh the Darkin Scythe on exit, which is the Darkin Scythe. And then Darkin deals percentage maximum health damage and heals for the percentage of target maximum health. So the thing that is in my head, again, first impressions, I could be completely wrong, is right now, to me, Darkin mode just seems stronger. Like, hands up, it's crazy stronger. You've got Shadow Assassin that doesn't give you any benefit of more damage. Like, there's no damage bonuses at all. Here, the Darkin Scythe, which is obviously what the proc thing here, is if you go Darkin mode, heal for a percentage of spell damage dealt to champions, so you get more lifesteal. Shadow Assassin, for the first few seconds of combat, whenever it deals bonus damage. So you do get some bonus damage if you go Shadow Assassin, but none on your actual abilities, unlike Darkin, that you give more healing, and you get target's maximum health, which everybody's like annoyed with tanks, and also your ultimate does maximum health damage, and and heals for a percentage. Like, that to me is just more insane. And obviously straight away, I do believe, I could be wrong, but I do believe whatever you pick, you do actually get locked in. So you can pick Darkin straight away. I'm not AFK game. You can pick Darkin straight away when you go back, but you actually have to wait something like 3 minutes if you actually want to go Shadow Assassin. You can't click Darkin and then go into Shadow Assassin. I don't think that's how it works. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to go Darkin mode because I simply think that's the strongest form. So here we go. You're on the platform. Your Scythe kills you because this is basically your Scythe taking control of now Kayn. And there you go. So as you can see, very Aatrox look-alike, because Aatrox technically has been taken over by his Darkin weapon. At least that's what I think the lore is trying to tell us. Let's just buy a couple of items, and let's just go down to bot lane. Teleport to cursor. So welcome back to the game. So your Q hasn't changed that much, other than it no longer does actual damage. It does targets maximum health damage, which obviously that could mean it does less. It definitely means it could do less. There's the knock up that I told you guys about. And the cool thing is your E, just to kind of make people understand, if say like your enemy, I'm going to try and make Jarvan run away. Your enemy's running away, you can just use E as a movement speed buff, get closer, and then ult, and then go through the tower, block off his exit, and knock up, and then wham. So like, that's a really nice combo with the E. It doesn't necessarily have to be used through going walls. It does give you a 40% movement speed. That's pretty big. So that's kind of nice. Let's just quickly get back to lane. So again, if you are jungling, say we're on this side and we're jungling, we're trying to gank the people on the other side, your ganking routes are anywhere. They could be here and you just come behind them. It's very, very good. And endless possibilities of where you're going to be ganking people from because of that E. But no, I like the look of this champion a lot. I really, really do. Again, it's a first impression video, so don't look at these videos that you see from YouTubers and go, this champ's going to be OP, because we don't know. In the announcement video of the page that Kayn was killing people, so many people overreacting going, he's OP, when he was killing a support that he was like 5 levels above. Like, obviously, anything's going to kill a support and like one-shot a support when you're 5 levels above it. It's just natural. But no, I'm very excited for this champion. I am thinking Darkin mode is going to be stronger than Assassin mode. I could be wrong, but I'm not really sure. Again, in the current meta where bruisers and that and juggernauts are kind of strong and damage dealers, like, you know, Fiora, even though she's a pure damage dealer, she's kind of tanky. I think that's where Darkin could, Kayn could kind of come into play. So if you guguys did enjoy this first impressions, throw a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys next time. See you.